This video is going to show you what to test when you have a Samsung or Maytag Made by Samsung dryer that won't heat. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. And when you take these machines apart, remember the internal edges of all these parts are extremely sharp. They will cut you and hurt you, so be careful. If you don't know how to take the machine apart, click here for the video that shows you how to disassemble this style machine. And once you've got the machine disassembled, you'll be down to this, and this picture shows you where the location is for the fuses, thermostat, the heating element connectors, and what the heating element coil looks like there. So to do the testing, the first thing you need to do is remove all the wires. And when you do remove these wires, you want to make sure that you grab the terminal and not the wire, the little terminal end, and then wiggle back and forth and slide it off. It's be a little tight, but you don't want to grab just the wire itself and pull on it, because if you do that and you pull on the wire, you can damage it and pull the terminal right off the end of the wire. Now my head's in the way on these shots, and I know it, so I made the video and couldn't go back and redo it because I had put the machine together and it's gone by the time I got to editing this video. So sorry about that. It's going to be covering it up here on this too. I'm going to use my own meter, and mine has a setting for tone, and the tone of course is for the continuity tester, and that's what we're testing for, is continuity. If yours doesn't have tone, then just put it on the lowest level, and you want to see that you do have a reading other than the I for infinity, showing that you have continuity. And what you can do is connect the two poles of each of those items, one wire on one pole and one on the other. And I know my head is in the way, and I know you can't see it. I'm going down the line. I'm going to test the two terminals and listen for the tone or look for a reading, and I'm going to do all three connectors. The first connector closest to me was the one where the terminal connectors were for the heating element coils. The middle one is the thermostat, and the one furthest at the back is the high temp fuse. And I just went through and tested them all. These tested good, so that is not why this dryer is not heating. You'll have to look and do some other testing on other items. Okay, now I know you couldn't see me doing the actual testing because my head was in the way, so I didn't want to leave it that way without you being able to see exactly how to do this testing. So here I have another heating element housing assembly, and you can see I'm getting tone with those two wires touched together. Here I am touching the two terminal ends of where the wires were. That's on the heating element there. Okay, and I've got a reading on my meter, plus I'm getting tone, and that's checking for continuity. If you have the tone and you have a reading, then it tests good. Now the other two items in the middle was a thermostat. I don't have a thermostat here, so I'm just going to touch both ends of this where the screws go. I would normally be touching those little spade terminals, and again, if you get tone and get a reading, then it's good. If you don't have tone and you don't get a reading, you have infinity, like no continuity and no resistance at all, then I'm looking inside there at the coils here. You can test on the other side, on the inside of that ceramic protector, and you'll still get the same result. And I'm just showing you again how I'm just touching it, putting it on one terminal and then touching the other one. So if any of those items test bad, then you would want to go ahead and replace that item. And always replace the fuse and thermostat at the same time if either one of them is bad. And if it's the heating element coil and you can get it, just replace the heating element coil. That's fine. So once again, there's how you do it. Just touch the two terminals that are opposite each other.